What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the market moving forward as we have important data coming out for tomorrow. Not to mention new developments on the charts, but just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15. And the offer ends very soon in just about 12 hours from now. Anyways, so I just wanted to say that as far as NEO goes, we got this very, very nice pump. I mentioned to everyone I expected a huge pump that was coming about the 7.5 area. So we went up to 7.8 instead, but NEO was not able to sustain those levels. We saw it dip throughout the entire day. And I do think it might dip a little bit more, but that's very, very healthy. It's already up so much. It used to be in the threes, we're already in the sixes. We're up more than 100%. So far, it's been a great move. So the question is, what's going to affect us moving forward for the markets? What do I see for NEO? I think we might dip a little bit, but we're going to try to base very soon to respect this uptrend. We could try to bounce after that. So what else is happening for the markets? So Jerome Powell, okay, he gave a speech today and he said some important things. He said the same things over and over again. He basically said that as far as things are going, we shouldn't interpret a 50 basis point cut once again as them being aggressive. They're not on any preset course, and he has a lot of confidence in economic strength. He thinks that inflation is going to continue to cool, and that's the main priority. But he also mentioned that the Fed does not have a plan for what they're going to do next exactly that's fixated right now. They're waiting for the data and they're going to be reacting to that, basically. That's what he's trying to say. He mentioned right now the economy is very strong, this and that, and the market ended up liking what he was saying. That's when the market saw a big pump at the end of the day. It dumped really hard when he was speaking, then it pumped super hard after that. That's why we saw the market seeing some interesting volatility. So it goes to show how much he really shakes things. Tomorrow's going to be Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, and October is known for being a more bearish month. I think that the market does have bearish momentum that's going to come, but we're not ready yet. We could push a little bit higher. Whether we get a push or not depends on a lot of data. So tomorrow, 15 minutes after market opening, we have the PMI report. Then at 10 o'clock a.m., that's going to be the most important hour. We have some very important jobs numbers. We have the JOLTS job openings and job quits reports. So be ready for all of that. Then we have a couple of Fed speakers later on. So we'll see how things end up going. I also want to mention that for November 7th, there's a 37.1% chance we get a 25 basis point cut, and about a 63% chance we get a 50 basis point cut. We will see how things end up developing from here. So just know that the odds do favor us getting a bigger cut. I'm sorry, a smaller cut right now. Excuse me, guys. But whether or not that happens is also going to depend on a lot of different factors. For other factors, we have extreme greed making up the majority of sentiments. The fear and greed index is very, very greedy. Extreme greed is making up the majority of momentum. That's going to be another very important factor. Then we also have the puts and call option ratio at extremes. This suggests to me that the market is going to top very soon. I don't think the market is going to run forever. I think within a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting to see a big downtrend that's starting. But for the time being, we still remain more bullish. NEO entered a strategic agreement with different investors, which invest over $1.9 billion USD, who are once again going to be looking at some more growth. We also have the deliveries numbers coming out very soon, so I can't wait to see when they announce that. Possibly tomorrow in the evening, if not maybe a little bit later than that. In China, it's going to be different. They're ahead of the US, so it's going to come out earlier than Tesla's, but it's going to be coming out very soon. Another bullish piece of news is the fact that Morgan Stanley is reiterating an overweight rating for the share price. They see positive cash flow coming very, very soon thanks to new investments. And they're very bullish amidst everything that's going on. So very, very bullish news. They're saying it's going to outperform the market. That's why it has an overweight rating. We have 200 million in volume, well above average, and I also see short volume still kind of flat. JP Morgan is bullish, so is Morgan Stanley, so great news at least for us. So what is my view of the markets? What I think is going to happen? I want to make it very clear, guys, that by the end of October, I think the whole market is going to have downside coming. But we're not at the end of October yet. We're starting October barely tomorrow, and we might start off on a strong note. So that's what I think is going to happen. We're going to start off strong and finish October week. So I think we're going to start off with a little pump going into tomorrow for the broader markets. And NEO may try to follow the trend with a little bit of a push to the $7 area. Then we could be dipping all the way down a little bit lower towards this support into like the 6.5 area. So a pop and drop and a dip to come down to fill this gap in the 6.5s is likely coming. And then NEO should bounce again in the lower sixes. So a pop and drop coming down to fill the gap is most likely going to come to NEO. Then we should try to rebound after that. For SPY, I said it before, I think that this thing will eventually come down. We have a lot of gaps to fill below. We also have a lot of things developing, but we're not ready yet for this thing to start dipping. We're still bullish. And because of Jerome Powell's speech with good volume coming in, there's a chance we might see another pump tomorrow. So look for this thing to test all-time highs, the 575 area. We could even attempt to break that and try to reach for 580. 575 is coming, then 576. If that breaks, we're looking for 577.5 followed by 580. And then we could try to go a little bit higher, but then we'll see if we get a rejection or not. So look for a little bit more upside, and we'll see how things end up going. We will see if we get that rug pull, but I just want to say that right now, for the time being, there's a good chance we continue this rally. We continue to pump to the upwards direction, and then we could slow down as time goes on. So I think by the end of October, the market's going to see a lot more downside. Going into like mid-October is when it should be starting, but for the first week of October, excuse me, we should be pushing a little bit more thanks to Jerome Powell. So going into tomorrow, expect a little bit more upside towards 577.5 or higher if we break all-time highs, and then we'll see how things go from there. Powell has come back. He's pumped the markets. We're back above our 20 EMA and ES. Could be looking for an all-time high test again. And then as this thing pumps, be very careful of the resistance. For other factors out there, we have Nvidia. Nvidia is trying to push right over here, so we have this imbalance all the way down here. As we try to rebound, we're looking for basically this 124 area. We could try to push up for 124, and we'll see if we get a rejection or not. And then that's going to be a very, very key factor for us. So I think that's going to be a very, very good factor if we continue to pump. And I think that as this continues with inverse head and shoulders developing, we are going to continue to look for 124. Now, this will try to pump higher, in my opinion, as we're forming a nice flag. However, as long as we don't lose 119, we are going to hold up. If we do lose that, we turn back down. I think we pump to 124, and we'll see if we reject later into October. For now, we look more bullish. Thanks to Powell's speech, we could even see Bitcoin try to follow the trend. We're at support right here, holding support. We could see a rebound for the 64,000s before it tries to dip lower. So watch for that. For Tesla, tomorrow is going to be the last day before we end up seeing deliveries. So we have tomorrow coming. It's going to be a trading day. And then the next day after that, on Wednesday, we have deliveries coming out. I think we remain more bullish, and Tesla could continue to push for the 265 area all over again, if not 267, and eventually try to push closer to 270. So I think we push a little higher for 265 or above as we're holding our 20 EMA nicely. And once we continue to push, we'll see if we get a rejection closer to 270. So watch for that very carefully. For NQ, we look more bullish. We have a nice looking structure right over here. If we were to lose 20,000, we turn more bearish. We break past 20,000 to 28. We look more bullish for 20,400. My gut tells me we pump a little bit higher towards this imbalance. And we'll see if we reject or not, but I do anticipate upside. For the QQQ, we look more bullish. As long as we hold 486, we favor upside. Could be looking for the 490 area by tomorrow. And then we'll see what happens later on into the month. We'll look for some upside. Apple's breaking out right now. We had some bullish news that came out. You can't forget about that. And then on top of that, we're looking for basically 235 as a potential target. We have a nice cup and handle like structure. We have a gap to fill up there, so I think we push a little bit more. For the IWM, we look more bullish. We dipped a little bit, and then we started to rebound. As long as we don't lose 220, I think we favor 222 by tomorrow. For a few more, we have Coin. Coin looks like it wants to test the support. We have 178 as our support. If we hold this, we could rebound for 180, at least 184. If we lose this, we could be tipping back down to about 173. I'm hoping it tries to hold the 20 EMA and tries to rebound for 184 to fill that imbalance. For Amazon, we are holding up now thanks to Jerome Powell's speech. We'll see if we try to base here at 184. We called this level out yesterday. If it holds this, we're looking for 187 again. If we lose that, we're looking for a dip down to 182. My gut tells me it might try to rebound. For Meta's holding up really nicely. We have a head and shoulders like structure that's developing on this. So be careful right here. If we break 572, we're looking for this imbalance to fill for 578. If we're bearish and we end up losing 566, we turn more we turn more bearish, obviously. But for now, we are looking at a head and shoulders. We'll see if this pans out. But the chart has bounced thanks to Powell, so it could be a trap as possible. It tries to go higher temporarily. I do believe there's going to be downside coming in October as we get closer to the end, closer to like the second half. But for now, the market's still going to hold up for the time being. Microsoft's trying to rebound. We're kind of flat right now, so we're looking at 429, 420, 430 basically as resistance. If we break this, we're looking for basically 432. If we end up looking at a rejection here, we might be losing 429. If that fails us, we're looking for 424. But overall, it's doing a good job. For Google, we have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. We could be pushing higher for this 168 area, and we could try to pump even more from here. So there's a very, very good chance this will continue, and I think 168 becomes a strong possibility. With that being said, the market's going to likely push higher tomorrow. I'm not saying this is going to last forever. Just a temporary pump is coming, a squeeze, yes, but it's not going to last forever. I want to remind you all, October is coming, and there's going to be a big drop coming. A big correction is going to be coming, but we're not ready yet for it. So look for some upside in preparation for that. NIO may pop and drop in the morning and eventually come down to fill this gap around 6.5. Once it dips down to like the 6.5 to 6.25 area, I do anticipate it's going to bounce. So that's what my view of NIO is for now. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great day. I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow. Until then, make sure you remember the data is coming out for tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Until then, have a great day and peace out.